Welcome everyone, this is Kerjims channel. Now we are back to our new episodes of 2 semi-ranking champions and comparison featured by Wild League of Legends versus the Mobile Legend Bang Bang. But before that, please like and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the bell icon so you will be notified to our next episode video. Let's do this!
Living outside the society has its flaws. The biggest of all is starvation. Living in the wilds means that you have to hunt down your own food. And if the beasts don't kill you, the winter will. The temperatures in the west are so low that the only flowing liquid is the warrior's own blood. The older warriors would die hunting, and the young children would die starving. The price for living in Freljord was far too high for the Wintersclaw clan. Sejuani is the only one of her siblings that managed to live up to the age of 10. Yet, she was sure that she was going to die the same way as everyone else. In misery. In desperation, she wanted to see her own future, and so she visited the elders. But to her surprise, they didn't see Sejuani dying. Instead, they saw her as a conqueror that would unite Freljord under one banner once again. At that moment, Sejuani realized something very important. If her destiny was to rule Freljord, she would have to live in this environment. And so, Sejuani pushed herself to extremes that would kill anyone without her will to endure. She walked into the cold blizzards without food or fur that would keep her warm. Only a weapon in her hand. She fought Wintersclaw's greatest champions. As long as she stood on her feet, she would fight. And just like that, as one of the most resilient warriors of Freljord, she was an inspiration to everyone else. Soon after that, Sejuani became the leader of Wintersclaw. Ash noticed how powerful their clan has become, and she, as the kind person she was, sent Sejuani a caravan full of supplies so that the Wintersclaw would never starve again. But Sejuani burned it all. Accepting gifts would only make her clan weak. They were forged of blood and survival, and not of cooperation with other clans. And Sejuani wanted to keep it that way.
I was born for conquest.
Meanwhile, near the frozen seas, there is a place full of legendary warriors called Lokfar. The men of Lokfar are known for fighting until the very end. For these men, there is nothing worse than dying old and forgotten. Olaf was a warrior that won countless of glorious battles, and he had no hesitation to share the stories with others. One day, he got mocked by a much older warrior. He said that Olaf could never match his glory. He knew this because the omens showed him the glory of his final battle. Olaf was stubborn and bold at the same time. He picked up the bones of a legendary beast and threw it on the table to predict his future. Everyone gathered around the table. What they saw was not glory in battle. What they saw was a long life and quiet ending. He stormed into the night. He was after the legendary serpent that devoured entire armies. Surely there would be no greater honor than dying in a battle with such a beast. Without hesitation, he hurled himself into the maw of the beast. His rage took over his body. But suddenly, as if he has fallen asleep, everything turned black. He was in a glorious battle, but he did not see it. At the end, the freezing water of the sea woke him up. Enraged, he realized that what he saw around him were the butchered bits of the beast he has just slain. Olaf wanted to prove the prediction wrong. He hunted down every legendary creature in Freljord. Unfortunately for him, he slaughtered everything. No beast was able to challenge him. So instead, he found a greater enemy, the clan that everyone feared, the Wintersclaw. There, at the gates of Wintersclaw, he stood as a single man against Sejuani and her army. Sejuani ordered her soldiers to charge, but Bloodlust took over Olaf once again. Soldier by soldier, he cut his way through the army until he stood before Sejuani. Their weapons clashed, but they weren't able to take each other down. At the end, Sejuani offered Olaf that she would find him his glorious death if he joined her. And so, Olaf joined the Wintersclaw.
The might of Lapu approaches.
Freljord is known for hiding secrets, but some of the secrets hide themselves. The Ursines are creatures that have endured thousands of years. Few decades ago, their society was run by elders that kept everyone isolated from the outside world. Volibear was a shaman and sage known for his great insight. This was the age of peace, but Volibear felt that the prosperity was turning them soft and weak, and many had long forgotten the sacred art of war. He decided to talk to the elders so that they could find a solution, but the elders refused to listen and warned Volibear to stay back. This wouldn't satisfy him. Seeking wisdom, Volibear climbed up to the peak of Ursine's sacred mountain. This place was forever shrouded in thundering maelstrom. The legend says that the next great chieftain of the tribe would be marked by the lightning. Volibear didn't know what he was looking for, and so he decided to leave. Just as he turned around, he was struck by a bolt of lightning. A horrific vision came to Volibear's mind. He saw his tribe being slaughtered by terrible ice creatures. At that point, he knew that they must prepare for war. He climbed down the mountain, but he found the elders standing in his way. They knew that he would end the peace, so they didn't want to let him in. Volibear realized that the survival of the Ursines depended on him. He had to deliver the message, and so he attacked the elders. Unknowingly, he unleashed a raw lightning hitting all three of the elders. Volibear held the mark of the leader. He became the head of the Ursines, and he allied with Sejuani to teach their people the art of war.
The Ursines do not know fear.
The Ursines are not the only ones using shamanistic powers in combat. A small group of shamans lives in Freljord with one purpose: to protect this land. They live in hidden temples that serve as a place of peace. Once a generation, a child is born under a blood moon. This child would one day serve as a link between the real world and the spirit world. And as the time goes on, this child would one day become a spirit walker. Udir was such a child. His master taught him everything he would ever need to protect this land. The master very often told Udir that he would be tested far more than the spirit walkers before him. And just like that, one very cold winter night, the test arrived. Udir and his master encountered the Ice Witch herself. Knowing that Udir would stand no chance against her black magic, he shielded Udir with his own body. This would cost him his life. Udir was horrified. He howled with fury, and he felt the Freljord howl with him. An avalanche came down and took the entire temple with it. When Udir finally crawled out of the snow, the Ice Witch was gone. He was supposed to become one with the beast, but instead, he became a beast himself. For many years, Udyr lived in the wilds as a wild man. He wouldn't allow anyone to enter his territory. One day, he caught a scent of a fearless trespasser. He immediately started hunting him down, and when he found him, Udyr launched himself at the stranger again and again and again, but he couldn't land a single blow. Each miss would make Udyr even angrier. Exhausted, all Udyr could say was boo. Of course, the stranger was no other than Lee Sin. He came to seek the wisdom of the Spirit Walker, but all he found was a man lost in his ways. And so, Lee Sin took Udyr to an Ionian monastery protected by 4 eternal spirits of great power and wisdom. Here, Udyr would find harmony. The spirits showed him the balance between force and prosperity, and they taught him to truly embrace his life as the new Spirit Walker. Udyr owed much to the Ionians. He was able to repay the favor when Noxus invaded Ionia. Udyr was one of the first to push against the armies of Noxus. With the help of the 4 spirits, no one could stand in his way. Only when the Noxians fled with their tails between their legs, Udyr quelled his rage. Shortly after that, the spirits of Freljord called Udyr. The great evil was on the move, and he was the one to stop it. He knew that he couldn't do it alone, and so he joined the strongest clan in Freljord, the Winter's Claw. And this is how the Winter's Claw became the most fearsome clan in Freljord. I hope you enjoyed these stories. I would love to hear which story was your favorite. For me, it was without a doubt Olaf. Thank you for liking, commenting, and in general, thank you for your support. And as always, thank you, come again.
Yeah.